So yeah.
And good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Welcome to the first EndWar Online live stream. Hopefully you're doing as well as we are doing tonight. I'm with Natchai.
And I'm with Mathias.
Welcome, everyone. We are both community managers at Ubisoft working on EndWar Online. And tonight we're going to show you an exclusive look at the alpha currently running. So you can go on endwaronline.com and of course, apply to get an alpha key. And don't forget that we will be handing out a few of those babies tonight during the live stream. We have about 20 to give away. And for that, of course, what you can do to grab them, or at least enter to have a chance to grab them, is to type !Raffle in the chat. You will see a little message from Moobot saying several people have been added to the raffle to confirm that you are indeed in the raffle in order to win one of those babies.
Exactly. As well as that, we'll also be giving away keys on Facebook and Twitter. So
absolutely,
if you guys are not following yet, be sure to follow right now. You can actually see the links here. Yeah. It's just EndWar Online for Facebook and EndWar Online for Twitter and EndWarOnline.com for the website. Obvious, but still, you know, mentionable. Giving away all the keys tonight, guys.
Yeah, definitely. Right, so today's agenda will be a 1 hour and 30-minute long stream focusing on 3 things. It will be first PVE, so the solo campaign. Then a few PvP matches. I know Natchai and I have been a bit, you know, training and competing against each other, trying to find the best tactics and counter tactics. And I must say, I have been crushed several times. So I'm a bit.
But then again, he forgot to do some stuff in the game, so it might be very different right now.
I wasn't really good. You can't say it. And after PvP, there's going to be a small focus on the RPG element of the game, which is quite strong as well.
Yep. All the stats, guys.
All the stats, all the items, all the crafting. Really good. Okay, but first, what is EndWar Online? Because I guess some of you who are joining tonight don't necessarily know what EndWarOnline.com is. Well, what EndWar Online is. It's first a game based on the Tom Clancy IP. You know, the books, you know, the movies, so you can imagine the kind of theme or dark, you know, futuristic theme it has. And again, it's a web-based game. That's something really important because when you see the game, you're like, it looks good, strategic and everything, and you can think it's a full retail PC game, which it is, but playable on your web browser. So it's really interesting to know. Right, it's being developed by a studio based in Shanghai.
In China.
Shanghai in China, absolutely. And we're going to actually have the interview of a developer based in Shanghai a bit later during the stream, so that's really good. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to publish them in the chat on Twitch, or publish them with the hashtag AskEvo on Twitter or on Facebook. Right. All right. So I guess we can. We have done the alpha key reminder. For those of you who are joining us, type !Raffle in the chat.
Exactly.
We have done the presentation of the game. The current state of the game is, of course, alpha. And you will be seeing an exclusive version of the game that only Natchai and I are currently playing, not the actual live alpha build that other players in the world are playing currently and sending us feedback about what needs to be fixed, stuff like this. And then I've got a few more information about the game and in general what's happening with the different game modes, the PvP, the items. I mean, let's get on with it and let's show you what's going to happen.
Hell yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right, so first, a PVE look at the game. So during this live stream, we're going to alternate views between Natchai's views and mine, because we're both playing on 2 different PCs. So do you want to go first, or
let's do it? Let's go to.
So switching to
Europe.
Natchai's view. Natchai playing Europe, the Euro force, and I will be playing the Spetsnaz, the Russian force. Right.
So as you can see, the Euro force is based in Paris, which is clear by the Eiffel Tower, of course.
Can you zoom in on the Eiffel Tower? Oh, that's beautiful.
You can't.
Oh my god.
Look at that. And all of the little ponds and boats and everything going on.
And actually that's funny because when you start, you're not, I mean, I'm going to switch to full camera view and you can see the artwork and the Eiffel Tower is actually already destroyed. So in this PVE mode, we have to explain that you have been, constructing your base from scratch. Exactly.
So you don't start out with the kind of view that I'm presenting to you right now, because this is already quite a advanced late game. So you actually start out with the Eiffel Tower and all of your buildings that are a bit destroyed. Well, not a bit, they're pretty much down to the ground. But as you level up, you start rebuilding your city, you start rebuilding the Eiffel Tower, and as you level up, also your zones for your artillery, your helicopters, everything will start to look a bit more fancy.
Yeah, definitely, that's the way to go. Can you maybe speak a little bit more about the different zones you have built?
Yes, I can. So, if you start out at level 1, obviously, not all of these zones will be available to you immediately. Usually you start out with some infantry, maybe some helicopters, maybe some tanks, and maybe some AAV.
AAV, which stands for?
Anti-aircraft vehicles.
Yep.
So these will be the bad boys who will be shooting down the helicopters and planes and whatever have you in the sky. Because even more in the late game, you'll have access to drones, which are pretty futuristic military equipment that we have right now.
Absolutely.
These are not the Amazon drones, obviously.
Nope.
But the ones that, you know, have been quite controversial in recent news broadcasts and whatever.
Yeah.
Other than the actual military equipment that you usually have, so artillery, AAVs, tanks, what have you, there's also some gamey elements to it. So you'll have to generate energy, which you will be using to play PVE, which you'll be using to level up your commanders, which we'll go into a bit later. So this will be your number 1 zone for that.
Yeah.
You will also have the command zone, obviously, because you need somewhere to command your entire army.
Definitely.
Yeah, you can't do it from under the Eiffel Tower. Trust me, there's too many tourists.
I wish I could. It's difficult.
And furthermore, to end it off, we have the laboratory zone, which we'll be using to craft equipment to actually update all of your units. So you will be crafting better armor for your tanks, better missiles for your helicopters, everything like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I would say that from Paris we should go to Russia.
Yeah, let's go to Russia. And here is Russia. Oh my God, it looks so beautiful, with the, you know, those big reds, you know, the red place. How would you call it? The red.
The red square.
There
Yeah.
you go. The red square. Thank you, Natchai. He's more awake than I am. And basically, again, as with Paris, you're starting with, you know, every building destroyed. Obviously, those are the two factions, Europe and Russia. I've been building some of my zones as well. So gunship, that's for the helicopters. Airstrike, that's for the bombing. The tanks, the AAV, the infantry, the drone zones, the artillery zone as well, which is a very interesting unit. Maybe I will show you during PvP games. The air transport zone, which is a dropping helicopter, so it can drop, you know, AAV, tank, you name it.
Which is very useful.
Very powerful, very powerful. I got crushed several times because of this. The drones and the air intercept zone. Well, air intercept is basically to counter the drops, the helicopters, you know, all the air units. And if I can go as well in the laboratory zone, because you were mentioning it, but I think maybe even showing it, like the crafting area is really interesting. So on the left side, you've got, of course, your different type of units, so tank, helicopters, gunships, AAV, artillery, drones, and so on. And after, when you've clicked on a specific category, you can choose which part of that unit you would like to improve. So for example, if I want to improve the arm or the sensors or the chipset, and I think I can even show you one quest specifically, you know, focused on this element, this part of the element. It's this one. So I'm being asked to craft an AAV armor using, you know, the laboratory. So what I will do is I will just go to the lab, look at what I need to craft, click OK, and here you can already see the energy required to actually craft that item and the time required. Only 15 seconds, that's fine. Whoops, and I lost the connection, so I'm going to switch right to Natchai so that he can show us.
Alright, this is still alpha, guys, so there might be some connection issues, but it's been pretty stable all day, so it'll be a minor incident. So yeah, let's go into the laboratory zone a bit more. As you can see, there are different levels of armor that you'll be forced to craft. Yeah. I'm saying forced, but
no,
you know,
you
want to craft these because
and you want to craft them. Indeed.
The stronger your army, the better your chances are of winning.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't have a quest at the moment.
And I'm back, so I can show you the quest.
Okay.
So here's the quest, basically. I just clicked OK, which was not the right button. So I'm going to click OK here, and here on the lower left you can see it's being crafted. So I'm going to speed it up because I've got a pimped account.
All of the resources, guys.
Yeah, there you go. I've got completed an AV armor, which I'm going to equip right away on my unit. There you go. So that's a quest that I just finished. There you go. Quest reward. Thank you. Quest reward as well. Ooh, okay. I've got mini quests. I think it just unlocked all the quests that I've done.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
Maybe we'll switch back to UView. But basically, you've seen how it works. When you complete a quest, you got extra reward, and it teaches you on how to improve your units, basically.
Yep. We're getting some questions in chat to do with graphics quality. The graphics that we have right now are not maxed out. So I think that you are able to improve on those. As you can see, there's a toggle for high and low graphics quality. Just for the sake of the stream, we're not pushing this game to the limit because we want it to be stable, obviously.
But it's a web-based game. I mean, it's playing in your browser. When you see that, that's actually pretty impressive. I mean, when you look at the world view, or when you look at the the different parts of the game, this is just the world view, but obviously you've got PvP, you've got PVE here, and when you are in battle, you will see it's quite impressive. It's being developed in Flash, I believe, in a web browser, so you don't need to install anything.
No.
You don't need to pay anything. It's free access. I mean, at the moment, no, because you need a key, but once it's released, it will be free access. So that's quite nice.
And the browser also automatically detects whether your computer is actually strong enough to run the game.
Yeah.
Which
definitely
is a bit time consuming, but it's useful.
Yeah. And it runs on quite old PC. I mean, even usually your old PCs don't allow to, very high quality recent games to run. Luckily, EndWar Online does. So that's really cool.
Just to give you some insight, I can run it on my professional laptop.
Yeah,
and that's not the best one.
Which is usually used for working, not gaming. So that's already a good sign. Okay, so I think we talked about the global map, the quests, all of this stuff, but we didn't talk about one thing: is that there was a new update very recently introduced in the game, allowing the alpha testers to play 2 new PVE modes. Which are, do you remember them?
Assault and Holdout.
Yeah, good job. So Assault, as the name says,
just go on out, rush them, and get their base down as soon as possible, which is a strategy that I'm quite comfortable with at the moment.
You're used to that strategy. And the holdout mode, which is the opposite, defend your base in a set amount of time. Yeah. So that's really cool. I think while we were talking about this, maybe we can talk about the way we speak to the players, the way we get their feedback, the way we interact between studio and the players, using the latest Citrep video, which has been recorded with the help of our great CM Anaïs in Shanghai studio. Have a look.
Welcome to the 11th episode of our EndWar Online Citrep show. We are already 1 month into Alpha and we've received tons of valuable feedback. But we are just getting warmed up, and in the coming days we'll be releasing a nice new fat update. More on this later, but first let's take a look at the highlights of this month. What happened at the studio, what our writer has to say about the fan-created Commander Story Contest, who is our contributor of the month, and of course we will get some answers for questions you've asked on the forums. Let's talk about a contest created by our fan Marsflyboy for Best Commander Story. Our winner is Ektal, who not only submitted the best fanfiction on the topic, but also, thanks to his multiple topics on EndWar Online Alpha, he became our Community Contributor of the Month. So, how did you like his story, and why do you think his story is best?
I thought his story was great. We had a lot of great stories. There were 3 that came in as the finalists, but Ecto's story in particular impressed us because he had a great conflict. He showed us why he went from being part of the JSF forces to now being an actual general in the European Enforcement Group. In addition, he tied in a bunch of the actual battles from the EndWar Online campaign, so locations and stuff. So it really felt like it was part of the EndWar Online world.
Yeah, we both agree it was the best one. Okay, thank you very much. You ask, we answer. Michal, let's take a moment to address more questions our players submitted to our forums. Titus the Fox have the following question about friendly matchmaking. You have friends list? Now make use of it. I would like to team up with my friend in PvP to fight other teams competitively, and would also like to know if it would be possible to do the story campaign together with my friend.
Okay, so we definitely would like you to play with your friends. First, of course, we would like to focus on one-on-one gameplay. It's good right now, it has to be excellent. Then we will think about friendly matches, like friend against friend in PvP. Then the next feature we'll think about is, can you join together with your friends, fight against other teams, or join in a co-op PvE to go through campaign like special battles. But definitely it's something we're thinking and something that will come in the future.
Okay, thank you very much. Now let's see with the dev team what are major cool changes coming in next alpha update.
First, we've integrated elements that will create more variety in PvE combat experience. It starts with AI that can handle all unit types. So now AI can airstrike you, bomb you with its artillery, transport infantry to uplinks, and so on. It's pretty classical, but still, it really improves the PvE experience and can teach you some tactics you may not have anticipated before. Aside this, we now have new game modes, Assault and Holdout. The new game modes are fairly simple. In Assault mode, you have to destroy the enemy base in a limited time. But take care, in this mode AI will wait for your moves before deploying, so you'll face a very defensive AI opponent. In Holdout mode, it's the opposite. You need to defend your base along a tough time, during which AI will be very aggressive. Also, most important, we added a whole new bunch of commanders, 7 per faction. For example, some high-tech weapons, including the European tank with the high-energy laser guns, or the Russian tank with flamethrowers. This one is really my favorite. Other examples are artillery that will use glue bombs, and the infantry that would be equipped with anti-air missile launchers. You will find out more cool news commanders and more differences between Russian and European ones. You'll also see some UI improvements and many changes in systems like crafting and in the war room. I'm sure you'll like them. We improved air transport UI feedback as well, so it's going to be easier to understand this advanced class. So all this is in constant process, so there will be more changes in the future, of course. Last but not least, we are not ruling out the possibility of giving an option to reset players' game progress. So if you wish, you'll be able to start afresh with a new faction.
In this alpha update, we'll be giving you Chapter 6, which for the European faction is going to be South Central Europe, and for the Russian faction is going to be the Northern Caucasus. Chapter 6 is unique in that, unlike some of the other chapters where you're getting internal conflict, internal groups that are unique to the actual faction, here we're fighting against global groups that will fight against both the Russian and the European faction. And you won't know yet why you're both fighting the same group, but that's going to be part of the overall story that's going to be revealed later in the game.
At the end of this episode, I would like to remind all lucky Alpha players to send us your best battles in Alpha, EndWar Online inspired artworks, or funniest bugs you encounter in our game, and you will be in with a chance of winning our fantastic USB rocket launcher. If you don't have access to the game, we will give away a bunch of keys during our first EndWar Online Alpha livestream on August 7th at 7:30 p.m. Paris time. See you there, and see you on the battlefield.
Okay.